10 countries with strongest armies in the world. Armies are considered an important part of a country and its security. Every year, a large fortune is allocated out of the budget for fighting battles. Countries take special initiative to strengthen themselves militarily. Here is a list of top 10 strongest armies in the world. Number 10. Japan. Japan was the land of samurais, and Japan was a leading military force in World War II. Interestingly, its peace treaty at the end of World War II prohibits it from having an offensive army in response to its growing disputes with the ever-expanding China. Japan started military expansion first time in 40 years, placing new bases on outer islands. It increased its military spending first time in 11 years to 49.1 billion, the world's sixth highest. It has over 2,47,000 active personnel and almost 60,000 in reserve. With 1,595 aircraft, it is the fifth largest air force. The army is also equipped with 131 warships. Besides, through its recent defense initiatives, it maintains a solid military presence in Asia. Number 9. South Korea. South Korea shares its border with North Korea, which has an extremely powerful army at its disposal, and hence is a constant threat to South Korea. But its offensive nature is not its only problem. To meet the increasing armament of China and Japan, South Korea has been increasing its defense expenditure, which is now 34 billion. It maintains a large army of over 6,40,000 active personnel and 29 lakhs additional personnel in reserve, alongside the sixth largest air force with 1,393 aircraft as well as small 166 ships. The country has about 15,000 land weapons, including rocket systems, as well as 2,346 tanks. It routinely participates in military training with US. Number 8. Turkey. It was perhaps the struggle of the other countries sharing borders with the regions where the Islamic State has a strong presence. The struggle in Syria or the probability of clashes with the Kurdish separatist organization PKK, which made Turkey realize that it needs to prepare itself to face danger head on if and when it approaches, and decided to increase its investment in defense in 2015 by 10%. Its defense budget is at 18.18 billion. Its army size, including regular troops and reserves, is just about 660,000. Turkey's air force has 1,000 aircraft. The military also claims 16,000 land weapons. It has strong diplomatic ties with the US and partakes in initiatives around the world. Number 7. Germany. Germany is one of the strongest economic forces in the world, but despite spending around 45 million every year, the army's condition seems to have deteriorated in the past few years. This is perhaps because the generation born and growing up in the 1950s and 60s were against war and its atrocities. In 2011, mandatory military service was eliminated to prevent the country from being a militarized country. It has only 1,83,000 active frontline forces and 1,45,000 reservists, alongside 710 aircraft in total and an armament of nearly 5,000 of various kinds. Number 6. France. France is another country to follow Germany's lead because in 2013 it took the decision to effectively freeze its military spending and cut down on the defense job by 10% to save money for technologically advanced equipment. Its current military budget stands at 43 billion a year, which is 1.9% of the country's GDP, much below the spending target as set by NATO. Over 220,000 regular force combined with reservists to form a force of about 5 lakh. It has just over 1,000 aircrafts along with 9,000 ground vehicles. Even if these do not make France a formidable army, its position in the EU and UN, a total 290 nuclear weapons and significant deployments strengthen the country. Number 5 is United Kingdom. The United Kingdom, another member of the EU also has a plan of reducing the size of the armed forces by 20% between 2010 and 2018 and apply smaller cuts to the Royal Navy and RAF. The defense budget of the UK currently stands at 144 billion. It has a regular force of only about 2 lakhs and 5,000, along with a small air force of 908 aircrafts and an even smaller navy of 66 ships. However, the army of the UK is still a powerful one with its superior training equipment and its 160 nuclear weapons being the main strength. The Royal Navy is planning to put to service HMS Queen Elizabeth in 2020. It is an aircraft carrier planned to carry 40 F-35B Joint Strike Fighters around the world. Number 4 is India. India has put its massive population to use and filled an army of sizable 3.5 billion, including 1,325 million active military. The huge size of the Indian military is one of the reasons why it has always demand among the countries with best armies in the world. The main force of the army is complemented by almost 16,000 land vehicles, which include 3,500 tanks as well as 1,785 aircrafts alongside nuclear weapons. Its current defense budget stands at 146 billion, but it is expected to rise in a drive to modernize the military power and become the fourth highest spender by 2020. It is the world's largest military goods importer. Number 3 is China. China's defense budget officially stands at 126 billion, and in a relentless drive to invest massively in defense, there is likely to be an increase of budget by 12.2%. It has a formidable size of army with 2.285 million active frontline personnel and a further 2.3 million reservists, making the world's largest land force along with nearly 25,000 land vehicles. It has another 2,800 aircrafts on its air force. China is in possession of about 300 nuclear weapons alongside 100 different methods of their deployment. China is rightly among the top 3 armed forces. Number 2, Russia. Russia's defense budget stands at 76.6 billion and it is expected to grow 44% more in the next 3 years. The main force is backed by 15,500 tanks, making Russia the largest tank force in the world, though it is aging like the other equipment. The country is the world's leader with almost 8,500 active nuclear warheads. Number 1 is the United States. The United States spends a whopping $612.5 billion on the military, more than the other 9 countries' budgets combined. It maintains a remarkably large army composed of over 1.4 million soldiers and a further 8 lakh reservists to complement the active ground force comprising well-trained men and women in uniforms. Its biggest advantage is that it is the world's leader in aircraft production with a fleet of 19 aircraft carriers. While the carriers operate by the words together, some of to 12, the US implements cutting-edge technology like the Navy's new railgun, and the country also has 7,500 nuclear warheads at its disposal. No wonder it is the number 1 military force since World War II. That's it for today's video. Subscribe our channel.